Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode numero 3 of a podcast I like to call This and That. A podcast where we talk about anything and everything going around the fucking world. And you know what's going around the fucking world right now? Coronavirus. Oh boy. We'll get into that. We got a lot of sports news to talk about. Tom Brady leaving the fucking Patriots, going to the Bucks. Son of a bitch. And of course, bunch of players going to different teams. We'll talk a little bit about some MLB, and of course, we'll talk some politics, some Trump, some whatever. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who's ready to get in to this motherfucking podcast? Because I am. Well, it's official. If you haven't heard the news, Tom Brady is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer now. The man will be making $50 million for 2 years in Tampa. Oh boy. This is an article from NFL.com. All the articles and the stuff that I'm reading will be in the description down below. But just hours after announcing he would not be returning to the New England Patriots, Tom Brady found his next destination. TB12 is on his way to TB. Brady. Wow. Yes, his name is now Brady. I'm keeping that in. I don't care. Brady has finalized an agreement to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a deal worth roughly $30 million per year, which is incorrect. We have the official deal. Once more, it is $50 million for 2 years. I guess this is what was this article written? Oh, this was written 3 days ago. But Brady has finalized an agreement to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a deal worth $50 million for 2 years. Brady's big move down south comes after a whirlwind day of speculation. Brady announced early Tuesday morning that he would not return to the Patriots in 2020, but a verbal decision on where the QB would land was not expected until Wednesday at the earliest. The Chargers and Bucks immediately became the two most likely destinations for Brady after the Tennessee Titans extended Ryan Tannehill on Sunday. And Brady made his league-shattering announcement on Tuesday morning after all. Los Angeles had led Phillip Rivers' walk into free agency and into an Indianapolis Colts uniform this offseason, while Tampa Bay has played coy about its attachment to impending free agent Jameis Winston since the Combine. Around 6 p.m., NFL Network's Jim Trotter reported the Chargers believed they were out of the running for Brady, with priority to stay on the East Coast because of family concerns. Okay. Just minutes later, Brady had an agreement in principle with the Bucks. So yeah, he wanted to stay on the East Coast. He didn't want to go over to the West Coast. He didn't want to switch time zones. I see what Brady did here. And so it begins. Act 21 seasons into his storied career. A 6-time Super Bowl champion, 14-time Pro Bowler, 3-time First American All-Pro, and a 3-time MVP with the Patriots, Brady is joining in Tampa Bay, an outfit that had not made the playoffs since 2007. So you get it. Brady's heading off to Tampa. He'll be suiting up there for 2 years at $50 million, and he's currently 43. So he said he wants to play till 45. And I read somewhere that I believe the Patriots' opponents for 2021, the Buccaneers, will be one of the home opponents for the Patriots. So that'll be interesting to see. That'll be quite interesting to see what happens there. But I don't know, man. As a Patriots fan myself, I'm sad to see Brady go. I really am. No? I wish he would have stayed with the Patriots, but I honestly just didn't see that happening with how we went out of the playoffs. Got fucking booted out in the wild card round. Honestly, Brady had no one to throw to there in New England, if you think about it. Other than Edelman, that's pretty much about it. That N'Keal Harry kid, he was alright. I guess we'll have to see what he can bring in a full season of football. Then we'll get into this, the new NFL CBA. Oh boy. We'll get into that later on here in the podcast, but the new NFL CBA. Woo. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, Brady had no one to throw to. Alright? I mean, who are his reliable receivers other than Edelman? You know? That and Brady really had no tight end to throw to. So. But, if you look at it, Brady is now in a better situation in Tampa. You know, he's got a pretty good tight end in O.J. Howard. A stacked receiver core in fucking Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So Brady's got some toys to play with in Tampa. Not gonna lie. The offensive line, it's alright. I mean, I haven't watched too many Buccaneers games, but hey. We'll see what Brady can do with the weapons he's got here in Tampa. I'm excited. I'm hoping to possibly get tickets next season to a Buccaneers game as well. I don't know. I'm looking into that. I want to see Brady play in a Buccaneer uniform. That'll be sweet to see. But I don't know. We'll have to see how Brady's adventure in Tampa Bay will stand. You know, I saw an article. I think it was on Yahoo Sports or NFL. I think it was on Yahoo, and it was saying, who needs who? Does Brady need Belichick or Belichick need Brady? You know when I think about that, you think about it, it's like, honestly, Brady needs Belichick. You know? Brady needs Belichick. I'm not saying Brady's a system quarterback, but if you're going to put that into an argument, who needs who? I'd say Brady needs Belichick. Because if you think about it, Belichick is one of the fucking greatest coaches of all time. Hands down. I mean, I remember, I think it was 2008? I think it was 2008 or 2009. I think it was 2008. Tom Brady got hurt. Matt Castle was in at quarterback, and the Patriots still managed to go 11-5 without Brady. And yeah, they didn't make the playoffs that year, but they still came in with a winning record without Brady. You know? But I'm kind of curious to see what Bill Belichick is going to do in the draft, you know? Is he going to take a quarterback? Is he going to take is he going to take a piece on defense? What is he going to do? I'd say he should take a quarterback. You know? You got a much earlier pick in 21. And this is a pretty good quarterback class. You know, there's some pretty good quarterbacks coming out of this class. Besides Tua and Joe, you know, you got Justin Herbert. Who else? I don't know. Jordan Love. Who else do you got coming out there? I know you got a bunch more. Tua, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Joe Love. But you got a bunch of good quarterbacks coming out of this draft. So it's going to be Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, that's another one. I just thought of that one. Jalen Hurts. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what the Patriots do. But I don't know, man. We'll see what Tom Brady does in Tampa, and we'll see how the Patriots do without Brady in New England. It's really going to be interesting. It really is. And of course, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Bucks are automatic. Super Bowl contenders, Brady." No. But of course, what's funny is, who's going to take the AFC East next year? I'm sorry. I know I'm a Patriots fan, but I'm still saying it's the Patriots. Come on. Bills may take the wild card at least at 11-5, 10-6, like last year. Maybe 12-4. I'd say around 11-5, 10-6 somewhere. I'll give them 11-5. Yeah, 10-6, and then the Patriots would finish 11-5 and take the division. Depending on, well, honestly, if you think about it, it all really depends on who the Patriots get at quarterback as well. But there's a lot of question marks right now. But a lot of people are saying the Bills are gonna take the division. But how about this trade? Whoo! We're not done with the NFL just yet. DeAndre Hopkins is being shipped off to Arizona for David Johnson. This is I'll leave a link to this in the description. As I said, each and every article is in the description. But under the player updates, it says Cardinals DeAndre Hopkins headed to Arizona in blockbuster. The Texans have traded DeAndre Hopkins and a 4th-round draft pick to the Cardinals in exchange for running back David Johnson, as well as a 2nd and a 4th-round draft pick. That what? Huh? Now, I guess Hopkins did want out of Houston. Some people were saying so. It's Bill O'Brien. What the fuck do you expect? But hey, that beefs up the receiving core for Kyler Murray a lot. That gives Kyler Murray another option on offense to throw to. How old is... Let's see, how old is DeAndre Hopkins? 27. Hey? I mean, the Cardinals just got a big upgrade at wide receiver. Now if they can get a couple pieces on that O-line, hell, Kyler Murray's got another toy to play with, man. Kyler Murray has got himself a new toy to play with. And I know that sounds weird, but I don't give a fuck. A new weapon on offense, I should say. There you go. Woo. Man, I can't wait to see this season unfold. This is going to be an interesting one. It is going to be an interesting one for sure. It's going to be a sure. Ooh. Bills acquire wide receiver Stephon Diggs from the Vikings. That's right. Buffalo's making some moves. Stephon Diggs tweeted earlier Monday afternoon that his exit from Minnesota was imminent. On Monday night, he learned his destination. The Buffalo Bills acquired the Vikings receiver for a 2020 7th-round pick in exchange for a 2020 first-round pick, 22nd overall, and a 5th-round 2020 pick, and a 6th-round 2020 pick, and a 2021 4th-round pick. So that's not bad. Diggs was less than 2 years removed from signing a 5-year extension to stay in Minnesota through the 2023 season. Now the receiver is primed to play the rest of that deal out in Buffalo. Bearing a contract restructure, Diggs is slated to make $11.5 million in 2020. Not bad. I'm going to say that's not bad of a move. Josh Allen gets another weapon as well to play with there in fucking Buffalo. I see why people are saying Buffalo's going to take it. Yeah, okay. How old is Stephon Diggs? Let's see. How old is Stephon Diggs? What kind of season did he have last year? Ooh, okay, so he's 26 years old. Let's see. In 2019, he put up 1,130 yards, averaged 17.9 yards, 6 touchdowns, 63 receptions. Actually didn't do too half bad. Yeah, that was half of what he was getting in 2018 for receptions, but hey, he still kicked ass. He still got 1,000 yards, but Stephon Diggs is going to be a big piece for sure in Buffalo. That's for sure. Contributing to success there in Buffalo. We'll have to see how that plays out as well. I mean, this upcoming NFL season is going to be good. It's going to be good. That is for sure. That is for motherfucking sure. But that will do it for your NFL transactions. So, here we go. A big juicy topic. The NFL ownership approves terms of potential new CBA. And this officially will be the new CBA. Let's see. NFL owners have approved the terms of a new collective bargaining agreement between the league and the NFL Players Association. The league said in a statement following the owners' meeting in New York on Thursday. This is an article from February 20th of 2020. Statement read, following more than 10 months of... Okay. So, what do we got here? What is this going to offer? Let's see. Well, it's going to offer a 17-game season. Excuse me, an 18-game season, right? I have it pulled up. I'm trying to look where it... Yeah, 17-game schedule. It was a 16... Yeah. 16 games is something that the veteran players who are a member of the Board of Representatives do not take lightly. Yeah, so they're adding another game, so it's going to be a 17-game schedule. In the new CBA proposal, players would receive an uptuck from the 47 total percent of the revenue they are currently guaranteed over the full CBA, which was approved in 2011. Who? I don't know. And Rappaport reported that under the proposed deal, the players' share would increase to 48% each year if the league stays at 16 games, and to 48.5% if or when a 17-game schedule is approved, which it has been approved. This is an article from a while back. I'm reading the article here a little bit. Garafalak of Flablabla, whatever the hell his name is, also reported the following details from the current CBA proposal Friday morning. Teams would now be able to activate a third player off the injured reserve during that season. Teams with 9 home games in one season of a 17-game schedule would have 8 home games the following year. The 17th game would not be an international game for every team. There would be a cap on total number of international games. Player discipline for off-field violations would be heard by a neutral arbitrator, but appeals would go to the commissioner. And the league would still conduct its own independent investigations into such matters. So, alright. I mean, the big one I want to talk about is the 17-game extension. You know, that means another game of football. And I guess that kind of works the playoffs a little bit, too. I guess that basically means 2 more teams are now allowed to be in the playoffs than what we had last year. So, knowing how the Steelers missed out on the playoffs last season, well, if the new CBA deal was in effect, the Steelers technically would have been in the playoffs last year. I don't technically remember the NFC side, but I do know that the Steelers would be in the playoffs last year, but the 17-game season rule didn't exist last year. But hey, we'll have to see how this all plays out next season, and we'll have to see how things play out. Oh, I lied. We're not done with transactions just yet. Lions part with longtime cornerback Darius Slay via Eagles trade. Fuck yeah. Let's go. The Detroit Lions trade star cornerback Darius Slay to the Philadelphia Eagles, a source told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Detroit received a third-round pick, 85th overall, and a fifth-round pick, number 166th overall. I believe this is in this year's draft. In the trade, according to Schaefer, after the deal, the Eagles and Slay reached an agreement on a 3-year, $50 million extension that includes $30 million guaranteed. Slay's agent, Drew Rosahamas, who the fuck is that, told ESPN. Sweet! All I'm going to say there is Eagles making some big fucking moves, for sure. And I guess Slay said this on Twitter. Detroit, y'all have been so good to me and my family. I'm going to miss all the fans and showing the city love. I appreciate all the fans. I appreciate the fans, coaches, staff, and city. Nothing but love and respect to y'all. To my Eagles fans, you boys ready to work? Let's go! Let's go! Your boy is a Birds fan. Yes, I'm a Birds and Pats fan. Suck it. At Meek Mill was good. Fuck. To my Eagles fans, your boy is ready to work. Let's fucking go. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait for this upcoming NFL season. Whoo, can I not fucking wait for this upcoming NFL season. Oh my god, I can't fucking wait. This NFL season is going to be good. It is going to be good. But yo, Eagles making some big moves at cornerback. That's what's up. Let's fucking go. Moving right along here. Little coronavirus going around in the NFL. Saints head coach Sean Payton says he's been tested positive for the coronavirus. That pesky fucking virus that we'll talk about later on here in the podcast. But yes, Sean Payton has been tested positive for the coronavirus. New Orleans Saints coach Sean Payton tested positive for the coronavirus. He told ESPN on Thursday. Payton is 56 years old, is the first person in the NFL world known to test positive for the virus. Payton said he didn't feel well this past Sunday, took the test Monday, and received the results Tuesday afternoon. Payton is resting at home, fatigued, but said the best part of the 20% of cases that have no fever and no cough, but he will isolate in his home through the weekend, and he said he is upbeat and optimistic about a full recovery. And there is a picture here of him with his dog. Aw, puppies. And he says on the Twitter, appreciate the well wishes. I'm feeling better and fortunate to not have any respiratory symptoms. 4 more days at home. Hashtag beat COVID. Hashtag fuck COVID. That one wasn't in there. I just added that, but fuck it. Payton says he's come forward with the diagnosis because he wants all the people to heed the warnings of government officials, stay inside and behave responsibly. Fuck yes. Don't be listening to the BS the fucking media has to say, people. Alright? This is not just about social distancing, Payton told ESPN. It's shutting down here for a week, 2 weeks, if people understand the curve and understand the bump. We can easily work together as a country to reduce it. Take a minute to understand what experts are saying. It's not complicated to do what they're asking of us. Just that type of small investment by every one of us will have a dramatic impact. And then he goes on to say, I was fortunate to be in the minority without the serious side effects that some have. I'm lucky younger people feel that they can handle this, but they can be a carrier to someone who can't handle it. So all we need to do our part. It is important for every one of us to do our part. The virus has spread throughout the world, and Louisiana has been one of the most infected states. But we are wishing wishes to Sean Payton, get well soon. Fuck the fucking coronavirus. I was going to save this one to the end, but fuck it. Speaking of coronavirus and all that, a Senators player has also tested positive for the coronavirus. An Ottawa Senators player has tested positive for COVID-19 virus. The player has mild symptoms and is in isolation. Of course, the Senators have not released who said player is. The Ottawa Senators are in the process of notifying anyone who has known close contact with the athlete and are working with our team, doctors, and public health officials. As a result of this positive case, all members of the Ottawa Senators are requested to remain isolated to monitor their health and seek advice from our team medical staff. Blah, blah, blah. Again, don't know who the Ottawa Senators player is that caught the virus, but again, well wishes to him. But enough of the fucking corona BS. Let us move on here to MLB news. A little bit of MLB news. The MLB pledges funds to support minor leaguers. Since last week, Major League Baseball has been engaged in a variety of discussions with stakeholders to identify ways to blunt the wide-ranging impact of national emergency resulting from the global coronavirus pandemic. Fuck the coronavirus. As those conversations continue, MLB is announcing today a league-wide initiative that will create a level of uniform compensation for the minor league players, covering the period between now and the originally scheduled start of the minor league season. MLB has taken this initial step today because the effects of the season's postponement on minor league players and their families. MLB intends to continue working with all 30 clubs to identify additional ways to support those players as a result of the delayed 2020 season. Each player who is under a minor league uniform player contract will receive a lump sum to the equal allowance that would have been paid through April 8th. The exceptions to this plan are a non-40-man roster player who are already receiving major league allowances, players who are currently receiving housing, food, or other services from clubs, and players who are not participating in or expected to participate in minor league spring training. MLB remains in communications with clubs on the development of an industry-wide plan for minor league player compensation from April 9th through the beginning of the coming season. MLB takes the community impact of this crisis seriously. We will continue to monitor the ongoing events and undertake the precautions and best practices recommended by public health experts to protect fans, players, and ballpark workers. We urge baseball fans to follow suit. MLB extends its best wishes to all individuals and community who have been impacted by the coronavirus. Fuck the coronavirus. In the last several days, MLB has announced a joint $1 million MLB-MLBPA fund to spend food assistance to those impacted by the crisis, and a 30-club $30 million effort to support ballpark workers. Individual clubs will continue to announce more details surrounding support for their local communities and players coming together to urge fans to take this crisis seriously. But again, don't overhype it. But basically, the MLB is basically helping out its minor leaguers and helping out everyone. But honestly, as we all know, the coronavirus did fuck a lot of sports over. It fucked over the remainder of the XFL season. Yeah, that is now canceled. That is no more. That is... So sadly, we will not see an XFL championship game this season. We'll have to wait next season. As we all know, the XFL is funded for a good 3 seasons off of Vince McMahon Manny Pooty Poopy Poo's money. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. MLB has suspended their season. NHL has suspended their season. The NBA has suspended their season. Mega March Madness isn't fucking happening. You know, a lot of events are being held with no fans, you know. Shit's crazy. It's very fucking crazy. And I mean very crazy about what's going on right now. But honestly, the media is being the media. And of course, overhyping it, which is driving a lot of people crazy. You know, this coronavirus BS is ugh, and we will get into more of it here in a little bit. But our next story here is Chris Sale to undergo Tommy John surgery. That's right, Chris Sale will be going through some Tommy John surgery. Best case scenario, could have the lefty back in June/July of 2021. For all uncertainty that surrounds the 2020 baseball season, the Red Sox are now faced with one grim certainty. Chris Sale won't throw a pitch this season. Yikes. Chris Sale won't throw a pitch this season. Oh, wow. The Red Sox announced on Thursday that their ace lefty will undergo Tommy John surgery. And this is from the Red Sox Twitter. The Red Sox have announced today that left-handed pitcher Chris Sale will undergo ulnar ligament restrictions or Tommy John surgery on his left elbow. Damn, big words I can't pronounce. Needless to say, this is a tough thing for Chris Sale, and a tough for all of us here with the Red Sox, said Red Sox Chief Baseball Officer Clam Boom. You know, this is a big blow to the Red Sox here. Shit. Fuck. Sale told a Red Sox spokesperson he would speak to the media after he has had his surgery. So that is a big blow. That is a huge blow. Fuck. Well, damn. Get well soon, Chris Sale. Shit. Well, here is our final sports piece of this podcast before we move on into world news and politics. Colorado joins California, passes bill allowing college athletes to profit off name and likeness. Colorado has officially joined California in allowing college athletes to profit off their own names, image, and likeness. Colorado Governor Jared Polis signed a bill into law on Friday, according to USA Today, after it was approved unanimously in the Senate and by a 55-9 margin in the House of Representatives. The law is set to go into effect on January 1st of 2023, the same date that a similar law will go into effect in California. The bill was passed in September. Hell yeah. That's what the fuck is up. That's what I want to hear. And honestly, I hope more teams follow suit. I really do. More states follow suit. You know? Basically, these fucking colleges and these states and the whole fucking country are profiting off these kids. And these kids ain't touching a cent of it. You know? And think about it. The money these kids are making, the money the NCAA and all these colleges are making off these students, The money could be going to their fucking college tuition. The money could be going towards helping them pay for their college debts and all that, you know? But instead, it's got to go in the pockets of the big corporate people. But I hope all states follow through with this, and I hope that they allow players to profit off their likeness and name, you know? My eyes, it's just fucking wrong to profit off someone's name and them not get anything. You know, that's it's not right. In my eyes, that's not right. Fuck. If I knew someone was profiting off my name, I'd be like, motherfucker, you're profiting off my name. I deserve a stake in that. I deserve a chunk of that money. You know? But hey, I honestly hope that the whole country follows through with this, man. But shout out to fucking California and Colorado for allowing college athletes to profit off their name and likeness, man. I hope more states follow through with this. But enough with the sports. Let us move on to good old news, politics, and all that good stuff. Last episode, I do believe we took a look at who was still in the race for president and all that. And well, Bill Wheel took my advice and dropped the fuck out. He's like, yeah, man, I'm not going to win this shit. Trump's, you know. But obviously, Trump is the nominee over on the Republican side. On the Democratic side, we are down to the final two. Bernie Sanders versus Joe Biden. Gabbard, Warren, Buttigieg. Let's see who else dropped out. Bloomberg dropped out. And Gabbard dropped out as well. So, again, we're down to 2 Democrats remaining. And of course, over on the Republican side, Trump obviously wins the nomination. Obviously, he was going to win that by a landslide. We all know that for a fact, so. But taking a look at the rigged-ass primary and caucuses, Joe Biden is leading with 1,201 delegates. Bernie Sanders has 896. And Elizabeth Warren is in third place with the bronze with 83. Over on the Republican side, Trump, well, basically has 1,339. He basically won the nomination, so there you go. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at how everything from the date of Super Tuesday has unfolded, which was back in March 13th. Alabama, Joe Biden won that one. 44 delegates went to him. He won 63.3% of the vote with 286,065 votes to his name. 74,755 votes for Bernie Sanders. 8 delegates went to him. He got 16.5% of the vote. I'm just going to read Bernie and Joe. Joe Biden won Arkansas. He had 40.5% of the vote, 92,586 votes. And Bernie had 22.4% of the vote. He got 9 delegates, 51,111 votes for good old Bernie Sanders. Hey, but Bernie won a huge, huge state in California. This was a big win, and I mean a big win for Bernie Sanders. He had 34% of the vote, 1,548,025 votes for Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden received 172 delegates, 27.2% of the vote. He had 1,237,944 votes to his name. Warren came in third. Sanders won Colorado. He had 21 delegates, 36.8% of the vote. Joe Biden had 12 delegates, 24.7% of the vote. For those wondering where I'm getting this, I just searched 2020 Super Tuesday presidential primaries. And boom. There you go. Google it. Joe Biden won Maine, 34.1% of the vote. 11 delegates went to him. Biden won Massachusetts. He won Minnesota. He won North Carolina. He won Oklahoma. He won Tennessee. He also won Texas. He had 34.5% of the vote, 716,030 votes. Bernie had 102 delegates from Texas. He had 30% of the vote, 622,336. Bernie, of course, won Utah. He had 35.3% of the vote. Obviously, come on. He won Vermont, his home fucking state. Blew Biden out of the water, had 50.8% of the vote in Vermont. And Biden, well, he won Virginia. That was Super Tuesday. This is March 10th. Biden took Idaho with 48.9% of the vote. He won 11 delegates. Biden also won Michigan. It's obvious. Like, look at this. They're rigging this shit. They're rigging this shit. It's obvious they're fucking rigging this shit. They don't want Bernie to get this nomination. And it's clear. It's clear. They don't. Joe Biden wins Michigan, another big fucking state. 72 delegates, 52.9% of the vote. 838,564 votes in Michigan went to Joe Biden. Biden won Mississippi and Biden won Missouri. Sanders did take North Dakota, but Biden won Washington with 37.9% of the vote. And he received 46 delegates. That was March 10th. 3 days ago. I missed it. But, yeah. More obvious freaking rigging. Arizona, Florida, and Illinois all went to Joe Biden. In Florida, Biden had 61.9% of the vote. Yeah, he got blown out of the water. Bernie got blown out of the water. People here in fucking Florida hate Sanders. I see why Sanders got blown out of the water here in Florida. But obviously, Biden gets 152 delegates, 61.9% of the vote, 1,075,807 votes for Biden. And Sanders had 53 delegates, 22.8% of the vote, 396,506 votes went to Sanders. Yeah. Idaho, Biden had 59% of the vote, 95 delegates went to him, 924,771 votes went to Biden. Sanders had 59 delegates coming out of Illinois. He had 36.1% of the vote, 565,762 votes. And now we wait for April 4th, 7th, and 28th. Yep. Now the total number of delegates needed to take the nomination. I lost it. What happened? There we go. The number of delegates needed to win is 2,273. And again, as of right now, Joe Biden is in the lead with 1,201. Sanders is right behind him with 896. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. This is ridiculous. It's obvious the DNC once more is rigging this election for Biden to win. It's obvious. I mean, isn't it? They did it in 2016 with Hillary, and, well, we all see how that went. And again, it's happening here in 2020. What do they have against? What does the DNC have against Bernie? You know, honestly, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's too far left. He's too socialist." Biden isn't going to be any better. I'm sorry to say. I'm a supporter of Biden. He's my second man. If Bernie don't win, which obviously by the looks of it, Bernie isn't going to win. Because, again, the DNC is rigging the nomination, as always. You know, they don't want Bernie to win. They just don't want Bernie to win. And it's obvious. The DNC is doing anything and everything they can in their power to make sure Bernie Sanders doesn't win this nomination. But here's a news story for you. You guys ready for this one? This is from WFLA.com. And it's regarding the pesky fucking coronavirus. 8 people arrested in California for reselling toilet paper and hand sanitizer at ridiculous prices. 8 people have been arrested in California for price gouging during the coronavirus pandemic. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department says deputies have been monitoring multiple online websites and person-to-person sales where people were selling products like toilet paper, hand sanitizer, masks, and gloves at exorbitant prices. Though through a sting operation, deputies dressed in plain clothes met the sellers, made the transactions, and then arrested them. It is illegal in California to sell essential goods and services at extensive and unjustified prices during a declared emergency. Violators can face up to a year in jail and a fine up to $10,000. Again, people doing stupid shit. You know, it's crazy. This coronavirus crap has honestly gotten out of control. As you can tell, people are doing stupid shit. Honestly, people are panicking here. Okay, this is according to worldometer.info. I'll leave a link in the description to this website, but this is a live COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak count, and the total cases of coronavirus is 276,007. Let me see if I can refresh this here real quick. Oh, it just updated. Is it every time you refresh it updates? Yeah, it was just, and now it just updated to 276,170. There have been 11,405 deaths and 91,952 people have recovered. Basically, the most likely person to die from the coronavirus is the elderly. You know, let's just say you're fucked if you're an old person and you have coronavirus. If you're a senior citizen, you got coronavirus, you're basically fucked. Shit's nasty, man. I guess it's some kind of respiratory infection. I ain't no doctor, but it's some kind of respiratory infection. And I guess here on this page it gives you the symptoms. Reported illnesses have ranged from people with mild symptoms to being severely ill and dying. Symptoms can include fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Which, I thank God, have none of those. Whew. I'm lucky. Typical symptoms. COVID-19 typically causes flu-like symptoms including fever and cough. In some patients, particularly the elder and others with other chronic health conditions, these symptoms can develop into pneumonia, with chest tightens, chest pains, and shortness of breath. It seems to start with a fever followed by a dry cough. After a week, it can lead to shortness of breath, with about 20% of patients requiring hospital treatment. Notably, the COVID-19 infection rarely seems to cause a runny nose, sneezing, or sore throat. These symptoms have been observed by 5% of patients. Sore throat, sneezing, and stuffy nose are most often signs of a cold. 80% of cases are mild. Again, these are where I'm getting this information is from worldometers.info/coronavirus /coronavirus-symptoms /. So if you want to go check that out, again, I will leave the link to where I'm getting in this all in the description down below. But 80% of cases are mild based on all 70,314 cases of COVID-19 confirmed, suspected, and asymptomatic cases in China as of February 11th. A paper by the Chinese CCCDC, too many C's, released on February 17th and published in the Chinese Journal of... Okay, I'm not trying to pronounce that here now. Has found that... Let me check, hold on. Epidemiology... What? Hold on, what is that? How the fuck do you say that? Epidemiology. Oh. But the Chinese Journal of Epidemiology has found that 80.9% of infections are mild with flu-like symptoms and can recover at home. So technically, this is basically another form of the flu. 13.8% of cases are severe, developing severe diseases including pneumonia and shortness of breath. So to all the fucking people out there who are going out hoarding fucking shitloads of toilet paper, hand sanitizer, soap, and all that, calm the fuck down. All right? Just do us a favor and calm the fuck down. Can you do that for us? Just do us all a favor and just calm the fuck down. All right? Because, again, we're just dealing with another form of the flu. The only reason why people are losing their shit, and the only reason why people are going fucking crazy is because the media is hyping this shit. It's hyping it. That's why people are flying to the stores. That's why people are buying shitloads of fucking toilet paper, stupid amounts of hand sanitizers, soap, and all that, is because the fucking media is overhyping this shit. They're not doing it any good, honestly. And I'm sorry, but that's fact. The media is not doing this coronavirus pandemic any good. I just wish the media could shut the fuck up about it and let it all play out. Just like the president. How I wish the president could also shut the fuck up about it as well and let it all play out. But no. No, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. Because the media is going to be the media. And they're going to do whatever the fuck it'll take to get their ratings up. You know? They'll do whatever the fuck it'll take to get their ratings up. And it's ridiculous. It's disgusting. It's why I honestly don't watch any of these fucking news outlets. It's why I honestly don't listen to any of these news outlets. I'm going to admit I watch NBC Nightly News from time to time. But other than that, I don't really watch the news. I'm not a huge follower in the news. You know? I mean, I follow some news websites on Facebook, but I mean, other than that, I really don't follow the news. Yeah, some of the articles I get are from news outlets, but you know, like this next one's from CNN Business, the network that Trump supporters love to call fake news. But our president is being our president again. Can you believe it? Because apparently Trump viciously attacked an NBC News reporter in an extended rant after being asked for a message to Americans worried about the coronavirus. Oh my fucking God. This guy is a child. In an extraordinary exchange on Friday, President Donald Trump viciously attacked... I love the media. Viciously attacked! Ah! Yeah, he viciously attacked him! Ah! Viciously attacked an NBC News reporter who asked what his message would be to Americans who are frightened by the coronavirus pandemic that is spreading across the country. A simple question, what is your message to Americans? What's your message? The exchange, which occurred at the White House daily coronavirus task force briefing, began when NBC News reporter Peter Alexander asked Trump whether he was giving Americans false hope by touting. Wait, what? I'm a retard. What is this word? Touting. Yes, I was right. Touting. Yes, I was right. By touting unproven coronavirus drugs. Towards the end of the exchange, Alexander cited that the latest pandemic statistics showing thousands of Americans are now infected and millions are scared. Alexander asked a simple question. Excuse me. He asked, what do you say to the Americans who are scared? A simple question. And of course, Trump fucking delivers with his childish response, saying, I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say. But, really? Now, I'm not taking anyone's sides, but... So he's a terrible reporter. Excuse me, hold on. Ugh. He's a terrible reporter because he wants you to give the American people a message. That right there just fucking proves how much he gives a shit about the American people. Honestly, that right there just proves how much he gives a shit about the fucking American people. Because we all know Trump doesn't give a shit about the American people. It's honest. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious he doesn't. Saying stupid shit like that shows you do not give a shit about the American people. And you only give a shit about yourself. All the reporter wanted to know. Yes, and I know you have a little thing for the media, Trump. You hate the media. Oh, the media attacks me. Oh, the media hurts my feelings. Oh, the media doesn't praise me. Again, Alexander asked you one simple question. What do you say to the Americans who are scared? That's what we wanted to know. That's all we wanted to know. And of course, oh, you're a terrible reporter. The president proceeded to launch into an extended rant against Alexander, saying he asked a nasty question. Wow! Oh my God! A nasty question! Let's keep going. And assaulting NBC and its parent company Comcast. You're doing what? Excuse me. What are we doing? Sensationalism. The use of exciting or shocking stories or language in expense of accuracy in order to provoke public interest or... What? So basically, Trump speaking out of his ass. Trump charge. And same with the NBC and Comcast. I don't call it Comcast. I call it Concaf. And we call this man our fucking president. Let me just tell you something, Trump added. That's really bad reporting, and you ought to get back to reporting instead of sensationalism. Honestly, he doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. How is asking the president of the United States, how is asking the president what he has to say to American people who are scared about the coronavirus? How is that nasty? How is that a bad question? It just sounds like a question Donnie doesn't want to answer. That's what it is. It's a question Donnie does not want to answer. Because he doesn't have an answer for it. And it's because he doesn't give two single shits. Moments later, Kathleen Collins, a White House correspondent for CNN, asked Trump if it was appropriate to embark on tirades against members of news media during a public health crisis. I mean, she's got a point. I'm sorry if you call CNN fake news, but for once I'm going to agree with her. Is it really appropriate to be acting like a stupid little fucking child when we're having a crisis right now? You see yourself as a wartime president right now, leading the country through a pandemic that we're experiencing, Collins noted. Do you think going off on a network is appropriate when the country is going through something like this? And of course, Trump defended his verbal assault on which, I'm sorry, Trump supporters. Yes, that was a verbal assault. Okay? Trump defended his verbal assault and says he's not a good journalist and launching into another rant against him. Coming together is much harder when we have dishonest journalists. What was so dishonest about what he said, though? That's what I don't get. What was wrong with what he asked? What was wrong with it? I mean, because honestly, that's a question I want to know, too. That's a question I want to know, too. You know? I mean, I know I'm not as scared about it, but it's ridiculous. Here's another article from VanityFair.com. Trump uses coronavirus press conference to confirm he's an actual psychopath. Over the past 3 years, many terms have been thrown around to describe Donald Trump. Phrases like huge moron, colossal jerk, massive prick, yeah, and our personal favorite, malignant tumor. He is definitely a fucking malignant tumor on the country of America here. He is a giant malignant fucking tumor. Obviously, many have agreed that the 45th president of the United States is both a terrible person and an idiot incapable of tweeting a coherent sentence. Again, I gotta agree with that. Let alone running the country. Still, some have worried it would be taking things too far to diagnose the man as a full-blown psychopath. Because, come on, the guy is a fucking psychopath. But this is basically the same stuff here. And I guess this is the.
When you say the Americans were scared, though, I guess nearly 200 dead, 14,000 who are sick, millions, as you witnessed, who are scared right now. What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.
I think
it's a very nasty question, and I think it's a very bad signal that you're putting out to the American people. The American people are looking for answers, and they're looking for hope. And you're doing sensationalism, and the same with NBC and Comcast. I don't call it Comcast. I call it Comcast. Let me just for who you were. Let me just say something. That's really bad reporting. And you want to get back to reporting instead of sensationalism. Let's see if it works. It might and it might not. I happen to feel good about it, but who knows? I've been right a lot.
No, you have not. I've been right a lot. I had to throw that in there. That was the that was the little clip there of President Trump going off on a reporter. But I have been right. Yeah, I have been right a lot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. This man continues to amaze me, to be quite honest. But this coronavirus crap has honestly gotten out of control at this point. It is honestly some crazy stuff. Not gonna lie. But we'll have to see how everything all unfolds, you know. We'll have to see how everything plays out. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's it for this episode of This and That. A couple things before we do conclude this episode. I want to let you know that I submitted the podcast to get approved for iTunes. So I'm hoping to get this podcast up on iTunes as well. It's on Spotify. It's on anchor.fm/Jeremy Mosier. And I'm also going to try to post each and every episode. I can if I can remember. I haven't been too good when it comes to posting them up on the second channel. Boston 32332. If you guys haven't already, go subscribe to that. But yeah, hopefully we'll get this motherfucker up on iTunes. So for those who listen to podcasts through iTunes, it'll be up there on iTunes as well. Hopefully if Apple likes my podcast and they accept it, that's a fart for them. Please accept my podcast. It's a good one. But that's it. I'm done. And I'm back in the next episode. Till then, peace.